The will to love is the law to live. I want to make a video about karma, about acquiring good karma, about balancing out the so-called karmic ledger. Alright, so what is karma? Well, firstly, I believe it's a word from Hinduism, um, probably Sanskrit. Some people say that karma means cause and effect. Other people say that karma is the idea that you get what you ask for. But from an existential point of view, karma is having to live with yourself. At the end of the day, you have to live with yourself. And if you've done bad things, you have to live with those bad things. We all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Everyone has done pretty bad things. It's like the proverbial skeleton that everybody has in their closet. But, karma. Now, some people, when they process guilt, normally in their early 20s or mid 20s, they kind of come round from the adolescent phase, which may or may not have manifested in various types of rebellious behaviour. I think that it's in your DNA as to whether or not you rebel. I think there are certain people who wish to do everything in life. They wish to experience all facets of life. And there are other people who just want to kind of be on the straight and narrow since day one. I don't know if that's a behavioural thing. I don't know if it's the DNA. But suffice to say, I would say about a fifth of people growing up want to experience everything. And then almost inevitably, they make mistakes in their late teens, early 20s. And then they're confronted with the karmic idea that they have to live with themselves. And then ultimately, the way they process the guilt determines the adults they will become. Now, some people basically refuse to acknowledge the guilt. And this ties into the Jungian concept of the shadow, this idea that we can deny, project, integrate, or transmute the shadow, which ties into the karma and the guilt. So the way you process guilt in your early adulthood determines how you deal with your karma. Some people just switch the guilt off completely and become what's called secondary psychopaths or narcissists. Some people turn to religion to expiate their guilt. Other people throw themselves into helping others, and they decide that they just want to acquire good karma. And then, like me, if they've decided to try and acquire good karma, you reach the conclusion that acquiring good karma is a bit like acquiring money, and that it takes time, it takes effort, it takes imagination, it takes patience. And then there's this other idea that you can spend 20, 30 years slowly acquiring little bits of good karma, and then you could do one thing wrong. One thing wrong. And that would spoil everything. So yeah, karma, we have to live with ourselves. That's ultimately what it means. There's also another saying that if I do something good, no one remembers. If I do something bad, no one forgets. Um, but, basically, we all have to live with ourselves. But there's kind of a few ideas about karma that's going around in my head. I didn't plan this video. I just wanted to get some of these ideas out there. But ultimately, the way we process guilt in our early adulthood determines the type of people we become. And how we learn to live with ourselves, to live with our own karma, determines who we become. Okay, thanks.